Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir SilentGods video. In today's video, I'm going to show you a team for the endgame boss of Season 4, right? The battle against Ascetius, and this one's just simply gonna blow your mind. I know it blew my mind when I first saw this, but it's a team that has the potential to do even 1 billion damage, right? If you get, good RNG, good luck, if you want to rerun it 1,000,000 times, you can do some obscene numbers, right? Let me just show you exactly what I mean. So, you know what I'm talking about. Look at this one. I did 390 million damage with this team. Now, I want to say from the beginning, this is a team that I did not come up with. It was somebody in the community came up with, and I personally first saw it on Gorex's channel as a video. I'm gonna link Gorex's video in the description of this video. Make sure you go watch that video, drop it a like as well, because he deserves the credit, as again, I did not personally find it, I did not personally come up with it, but he was the first one, at least that I've been told, that has shared this team from, again, he had it from a community member. But this team does obscene numbers, and the reason why this one is so crazy is because normally the damage that most teams can do, I guess they get up to like 200 million and go a little bit over it. The reason for that is there is a buff that says somewhere here, okay, yeah, so let me see if I can find exactly. Oh yeah, there we go. So when over 200 million damage has been dealt to the Chaos Touch, which is the boss Absolus in this battle, it will take 90% decreased damage. So pretty much after you hit the 200 mil, the damage is just gonna straight up cut, and you're only gonna get 10% of your actual damage that you do. Now, the team that I'm using is, again, pretty much the same that Gorex showed in his video, and I kind of went on the same principle, but let me explain to you how this one works and what it revolves around. And I'm just gonna show you the builds and I guess the presets, but the easiest way to show the presets, because I already used the team. Actually, I think I can still show it in here. Maybe I just cannot select the team. Let me have a look if I can do that. So I did call the 1 billion cheese team. I did not quite get there, but pretty much let's look at the presets, I guess, first. So the presets that are important over here are the 3 ones that are going to be Anna, Mithrasia, and then it's going to be Drizzt, right? So these are the ones that are important because Drizzt is going to be the one that puts defense penalty with the Witch's Remains at 20 and then every 30 seconds. Mithrasia is the one that puts debuff immunity in this team, that again every 30 seconds, so we do not get debuffs. And then Anna's the one that puts recoveries over time and then every 30 seconds, and that's gonna be something that will be stolen by the boss. So the way that this team works is pretty much it all revolves around having as many characters on the field as possible that will be getting that recovery over time that will be stolen by the boss. And then the thing that does the obscene numbers, the obscene damage, is going to be what's her name again? Let me just see. Baelvernal. Okay, she's the one that does that obscene numbers, and it's all about this passive, right? So this one says, when an enemy receives healing, there's a 10%, so obviously lots of RNG, really small chance, but there's a 10% chance of converting 20% of their healing received into damage, right? So again, what the boss does is when he does this skill over here at 18 seconds, steals 1 buff from each of them, right? So it does AoE damage to all of your team, and then he steals 1 buff. If you don't have any other buff, and that's kind of like the goal, you do not want to have any other buff in this team, just the recovery over time, he's gonna steal all of those ones, and he's just gonna do, he's gonna get obscene numbers depending on the RNG. Now, the goal for this one is every time that one ticks is to try and get the first one not to go over the 200 million proc, so that the next one, let's say the first one the boss gets 180 million damage, and then the next one procs another 180 million, that goes to 360 million, and then after that it's only going to be 10%, and it's going to depend on how long can you survive. Now, let's look at the build of that team and the way that I have my people built, I guess. Let me just see. I guess it's going to be easier to just go in the champion stage again. I cannot show it again because I just used it today, but the way that this team is going to work and the builds are going to be a little bit specific. Certain things are going to be specific, and again, I want to emphasize that this one's lots of RNG. It's lots of RNG involved, and certain things need to be kept into account. So let's start off first, I guess, with the supports, right? So let's start with Mithrasia. The reason I'm using Mithrasia is obviously because on the second skill, she does, for everybody in range, she puts recovery over time and heals them. This is, again, the recovery over time is going to be stolen, and then, you know, the boss is going to take damage based off of that. And then at the same time, Mithrasia also brings you the revive, but she brings the debuff immunity. That's also amazing. That's going to keep us from not getting those debuffs when the boss does it, because if we get the debuffs, we have a chance to get that, what's it called? Recharge speed penalty, and it can throw off the tune. But honestly, this team does this crazy number, or easily gets to 200 million at least, or over, in the first 2 minutes, right? As soon as those healing, those recoveries over time are stolen, and then those passives tick from Baelvernal, that's what's gonna do that obscene number. And that's why Mithrasia can help, because again, she's one of the ones that provides recovery over time. Now, the second one that's really important is again Anna, because she does the same thing. On her ultimate, she brings recovery over time, and it's for 10 seconds. So because she does it at 16.5, it's gonna be there when the boss steals it. Now, the way that I have Mithrasia built, for example, is I gave her the Rift Hourglass, so you have more skill haste, so that she gets this one faster. And then I built her with high resist. The reason why I did that is because the boss does on his second skill a single target hit to the person that has the highest HP. She has the highest HP, and then he basically depletes 100% of the ultimate energy, right? The turn meter. So if you don't have resist, there's a chance that, you know, you're gonna get that one depleted and you're gonna go out of tune. At least you're not gonna be able to put that debuff immunity. If you don't have Mithrasia, then I guess you can bring somebody else in this team. Maybe somebody like a Nathaniel could do it, that has the recovery over time on the passive. He could work, but keep in mind, you want to try and have the people, at least, that do the speed tune for you, to always have the skills at the right time. But yeah, Mithrasia 387 resist, then as much HP as I could get with some skill haste, and sets don't really matter, just give her the Moonlight Mantle for more healing. Next one, Anna, like I mentioned, she's missing an artifact. Let me see actually, because I think I'm missing some gear. Yeah, I'm missing some gear. So I need to just quickly go, I guess, to a dungeon, so I can just set all the, what's it called? Set all the, why can I not brain? Let me see, which is the one that I would farm less. Okay, rot. I never farm it, so let me just go in there and put the build, so I show you exactly what I mean. Because again, some things are really important to keep in mind, but most of all, honestly, the team needs to be pretty much survivable. You don't necessarily care about boosting damage for everybody. There's only one person that you're going to care about damage, and that's going to be the person that's going to be Baelvernal, right? So let's go and have a look again at the builds. So, okay, here we go. So Anna, she's in the Ancestral Protection, obviously trying to soak up some of the damage. You can see she's mostly tanky. That's all I care about. I gave her the Solar King's Horn so we can have a little bit of extra damage boost when she does that recovery over time. And then, obviously, again, with the Moonlight Mantle, so she has a chance to heal more. Next one is going to be Drizzt. He's the one that also has, for me, the Sealer's Whisper. So again, when he does a debuff, puts increased attack up. And then he also wears the Witch's Remains. Again, don't really care about damage, just survivability, enough accuracy so he lands your debuffs, and then you're good to go. Then the next one that's really important, and the reason why he's one of the best ones, Joyce, is because he brings the most copies possible to have on the field. Unless you have another summoner that has really tanky summons, he brings those summons that will give us those extra recoveries over time stacks on them that the boss can steal. So that's why I guess the 3 people that are mandatory in this team are going to be Joyce, it's going to be Anna, and then it's going to be Baelvernal. Okay, or Baelvernal. I guess I'm just going to keep butchering that name. But you're going to see, again, Joyce, pretty much survivability stats. You want to give Joyce some skill haste, like 60, 70, so you can keep popping those ultimates and keep getting the copies of him as often as possible. And then after that, survivable. You see, I barely threw any damage. And then the last one in the team, which is kind of like the most important, is going to be Baelvernal. And pretty much from what Gorex mentioned, that he was told again by the person building the team, the thing that you care about her is to have as much crit damage as possible, and obviously get close to 100% crit rate, because that's going to influence the damage that she does from her passive, apparently, right? Oh yeah, I even forgot to like skill her up, honestly. I mean, I'm not sure it even matters. Maybe it does help, but as long as it doesn't influence the passive, I don't think it really matters, because most of the damage is from this passive. But I guess I just skilled her. Maybe that's going to help me more, but again, the passive is all that matters. And then the build for her, I have her with a Poisonous Swamp and then Shade of Death, because obviously this is the one that the more crit damage difference between you and the boss, the more damage up it's gonna gain, so that's what's gonna do the crazy damage. But yeah, this is pretty much the team. I hope it was, I hope this one helps you out, right? If you still get the chance, or if you just got to Season 4 and you're trying to do that, keep in mind that this cheese team is working amazingly, and I'm quite sure we might see some other cool areas, or I might personally test some other cool areas where we have some of, like, you know, really crazy damage that can be done over time with this one, but it has to be where the boss steals buffs, right? So if there's gonna be like next endgame boss where the boss steals buffs and he can steal the healing over time, then we might be able to do the same thing. But yeah, we're gonna leave it at this for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to go check Gorex's video again. I saw this on Gorex's channel first, and I always like to give credit where credit is due when I don't come up with stuff myself. But yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.